Thinking about renting a condo in Thailand? Watch this video first. Hey guys, my name is Julia and for the last few years I've been living in an expat in Southeast Asian countries. I've been staying in different condos in Manila, Philippines and in Bangkok, Thailand. So in this video I'm gonna share my personal experience, some tips and tricks and things I wish I knew before renting my first condo in Southeast Asia. Let's begin. Tip number one, never rent long-term on Airbnb. Airbnb is an amazing website and you can find cool deals for short-term rentals. For like 1 or 2 months, you still can find really good deal on Airbnb, especially if you search beforehand. You also normally get monthly discounts. The thing with Airbnb is that it's very straightforward and you are very protected. Even if something happens, you can contact our Airbnb and if you are right, you can get your refund or fix any problems. But obviously you pay much more renting on Airbnb because the host paying some fees to the website to be presented there. So if you come into Thailand for the short term, it's a great idea because many condos actually accept only minimum 6 months or most of them actually minimum 1 year contract. There is also a law in Thailand that condos are not allowed to have short-term stays. By short-term, I mean weekly and daily rentals. Obviously, not all hosts are following this rule, but be careful with that because many condos they actually have a big announcement in the entrance that short-term rentals are not allowed. But if you're renting monthly, you're okay. If you are looking to stay longer than few months, then Airbnb is not the best option to look for a condo. Agent or no agent? That is an interesting question. Let's first start with the pros of using agent. Number one, agents are locals, they know neighborhoods. Agents speak languages, normally English and Thai, so in case the landlord not really speaking English, you will have a person who can translate on the conversations for you. Having an agent saves you a lot of time. You can say your requirements and the agent will just prepare the list of listings which you can check, and the ones you like, you can go and check it out for yourself. Agents can help you negotiate and get better prices. And the other pro is that you can get access to off-market listings, which you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. But of course, there are cons. And the first con, of course, is the price. Agents works on commission, and normally it's like 1 to 2 rents. The next con is that agent might think about their own interest and push their higher commission units and think less about your interest. There is also less personal control of search. Although you will say your requirements, there is something you might didn't mention, but if you would have looked for yourself, you would have just fallen in love in this place, but the agent wouldn't even show it to you. Of course, the quality varies because not all agents are reliable, unfortunately. So if you've never been in the country, you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, you don't know the area, you don't know anything, and you have some extra cash, then definitely go with an agent. Just find a good one. You can find some Facebook groups where you can ask for people to get their recommendations. So don't just get some promotional recommendations, but like real people recommendations. But if you're feeling confident, if you know how it works, and hopefully with the help of this video, when you get some tips, then you can easily find the condo yourself. Me personally, I never used an agent. I always was looking for myself and I had good experience. I didn't think I had bad experience. Maybe sometimes my learners were a bit weird, but I never had some like really bad issues. So if you decided to search for yourself without an agent, where actually you can look for these listings. The number one place where you can find a great deal for condo is actually Facebook. You can check out in Marketplace, but I actually prefer to look in Facebook groups. You can find something like condo rentals in Bangkok, Expat in Thailand. This kind of stuff, you know, there is so many of them. It's so easy. You just post your requirements, your minimal budget, let's say, looking for a condo in Sumkhuvit next to BTS, 1 bedroom with full gym for 1 year contract, something like that. And then people will comment or they DM you and you can like, if you agree on a price, if you like the pictures, you can actually go and see it for yourself. And the other good websites to find a property in Bangkok are Hip Flat, Fazlas, and Property Guru Thailand. If you're only gonna take one third from this video, let it be this. Never rent a long-term place without actually seeing it. Because first of all, the pictures might be very beautiful, but they might be taken like 10 years ago. So the apartment can look totally different when you arrive. And number two, it's not only about apartment itself. I think the area is very important. So let's say if you decide to come to Thailand and live in Bangkok for a year, for your first few days or even a week to be safe, you can book a hotel. Of course, before you arrive, you can do your homework. You can start publishing in Facebook groups, you can start checking their website, and you can arrange with the people to actually go and see accommodation for yourself. But never, please never, guys, before coming here, don't book something for long term, and especially don't pay deposit somebody, because there are obviously not nice people in this world. And it's also, you might get something which you will not really enjoy. And you know, when you sign a contract, you cannot easily just leave the apartment, and you might not enjoy, and you might not like the one which you already decided and pay deposit to live for a year. Also, one more thing I normally do is all the condos, they have a Google page, and this Google page have reviews. It's not more about the unit itself, this is gonna be about the condo in general. It's actually been really helpful for me. So I go to Google, I check the reviews there. There are people who actually live there, who actually stay there, or who actually own the apartment there. They can tell you some hidden problems which you wouldn't be able to see. For example, management. How good is it? How bad is it? How fast the problems are fixing? Or let's say internet speed, or parking problems, or some other problems, or cockroaches. You know, it can be anything. So it's always good to go and check the reviews, check the pictures. So like this, you are prepared if you actually like the condo itself or not. So now let's speak about what you actually need to check when you're meeting your landlord or agent to see the condo which you potentially gonna rent. At first, let's speak about the condo facilities, and then we're gonna come to unit itself. You need to decide what actually is important for you and what you are planning to do in the condo, because some people are gonna use gym and pool. That means they need to check it out. Some people gonna need co-working space, let's say, you know, and some people not planning to use any facilities at all. So it's all gonna depend on you. So me personally, I normally go to swim in the condos, and I like doing the long swims. So for me, it was important to have a big pool, because, you know, for example, when me and my husband, both of us, will go swim together, and if the pool is small, if let's say we both take 2 lines, there is no place for other people. That means if we come and let's say there is like one little family plane or some kids plane, that means there is not enough space for us to swim at all. Perfectly is when there is like a separate swimming pool for like swim, and separate swimming pool for just like hanging around. We actually had it in Manila, and it was great, because in the swimming pool it was like proper, you know, like this professional sport pools, and now nobody else was doing there anything other than swimming. It was super convenient. The pool where I stay now are actually really small, but because the condo is pretty empty, there is hardly anybody in the pool. So far it was doing fine. Like, it was few times when I was coming and the people were there, so I was kind of just using the half of the pool and swimming like back and forward. So yeah, these kind of little things you need to think about, you know, or let's say the shade of the pool. Some people like the shade, some people like the sun, and they're gonna want to sun around the pool, you know. So that little things you need to think what you're gonna need, and you can see how it looks, you know. The other thing is the gym. If you're planning to go to the gym, what exercises you do, what machines you actually need, you know, these little things you check in as well. Co-working space. What is like the sitting area, you know? Are there plugins and all these kind of little details? Like the condo I stay in now, again, it looks amazing because it has like beautiful view. It's actually, you can sit there on the 35th floor, but the seats are like, there is armchairs, really low tables, and hardly any plugins. There's actually like 3 plugins in the columns in the middle, where is no even sitting area next to it. So it's not super convenient, but it was beautiful view, so I still decided to take it. Also, you need to check about the security. How important is it for you? Normally all the condos have pretty good securities, but I feel like some condos make it just extreme. This example I'm going to tell you wasn't about Bangkok, about Thailand. It was in Manila, Philippines. It was so strict. Nobody was allowed to enter the condo. Here, let's say in Thailand, if we have friends, we can just easily walk with them, and our friends with us can use pool, co-working space, whatever, you know, and we can chill, have fun like for a few hours, and that's it. Nobody asks anything. In Manila, if you have a guest, you need to register with your passport, write a written thing. For the pool, you need to register as well. And I think actually pool for the guests wasn't even free. It was like 100, 200 baht. But still, it is a bit strange in my mind. So if there is something you're gonna think you're gonna have like guests a lot, you need to check like how easy it is to just bring the guests, or you're gonna need to like order some kind of special security letter for them to be able actually to enter your apartment. The next thing you need to check is parking. If you're owning a vehicle or few of them, you need to check is parking is available, is it free, and all these details. We don't really own cars in Asia, so I never faced a parking issue. But for example, Condo where I am now, again, one more thing I learned from Google reviews before entering this condo. People in the comments were saying that actually the parking is not great here. There is only like one car for the unit, and if you have more cars, there is like nowhere to put it. So, and for guests, the same thing, like there is no really parking for the guests. So yeah, if it's something which you're interested in, obviously check it out as well. Another thing which I recommend you to check is rubbish rooms. Normally in these condos, every floor have its own rubbish room. If you, let's say, environmental friendly person, you can check if there is actually like different rubbish bins or not. But why I'm actually recommended to check this is cockroaches. For me, it's a big no to have cockroaches, but it is a big problem in condos because obviously not all people are clean, and especially with this hot climate and these rubbish rooms, you know, if they're not probably cleaning it, they might start coming. And you know, from this rubbish room, they can just spread all around and come to all the units and stuff. So even though the landlord or the agent might tell you that no, there is no cockroaches, everything is fine, you can see it for yourself around the rubbish area, because you will see at least some like traces, or maybe you can see one, you know, like if it's something important for you, I think it's a good idea to go and check out these rubbish rooms. In the condo I'm staying now, it's really good. They do this spraying every month, and so far it's been all good. I didn't see anybody. Next, check for facilities. Again, what is important for you? For example, laundry room, if you don't have a washing machine in your room, drinking water machines, because me and JJ, we don't really like buy the plastic bottles all the time. So we always look for some convenient way to get drinking water and not waste plastic too much. Also some like shops, little restaurants. It is something which you need to think what's important for you. For example, now we are staying in a condo, there is no shop, no cafe, nothing. The condo we were staying before was great in that case. It was one little supermarket. It was like vending machines with some snacks and drinks. And it was actually a cafe where they were cooking like simple Thai dishes, which were really great, because imagine if it's like raining outside or you're busy with work, you can just go down to the ground floor and you have a cafe right there. That was so great. And then of course you need to check the surroundings on the condo, because the area is so important, especially in the Bangkok. There are different areas with different vibes. So let's start with close by, let's say 7-Eleven. That's something probably you will want. If you are going to cook at home, you're going to need some big supermarket to be able to do your groceries. If you are planning to eat out, you need some cafes, restaurants, street market, you know, this kind of stuff you need to check around. If you're planning to use a public transportation, you need to check if there like a BTS station nearby, or a bus station at least. If you love nature, or maybe if you have kids, you can check if there is like a park nearby, or some like kids playing ground, something like that. Obviously the area is important, because there are areas like Soy Cowboy, Nana Plaza, and this kind of places which might have a strange vibe. Obviously if you like it, good for you, but if you want something more quiet, you need to check different areas. And also the loud music might irritate you. Obviously, if you're staying like in a high floor, probably you will not hear anything. But still, seeing these like lady boys and prostitutes around, maybe not ideal thing. But again, it's you decide for yourself whatever works for you. And now let's discuss what you actually need to check inside the unit. Obviously, you need to see if you like it, because sometimes you come and you understand, like, yeah, I can live here. Or sometimes you walk in and you're like, no, that's not for me. So one number tip I want to tell you is check where is the sun, because it is hot in Thailand and the sun does change temperature a lot. And if you have a sunny side, you're gonna use aircon way more and it's gonna cost you way more. If you have a shade side, let's say you never have a sun, that's like the perfect position, but obviously it's hard to find. You might find like apartment where you're gonna have sun only in the morning or let's say only in the evening. You can play around here, but obviously keep it in mind if you want to save on electricity. Next, check the view, because for many people the view of Bangkok is really important, because when you're moving in from some little town, of course you want the skyscrapers and amazing skyline in front of your window. But obviously apartments with a higher floor and a nice view cost more. If you're working from home, check a Wi-Fi speed, because obviously it's going to be important for you. Don't be shy, just ask the landlord for the password and you can check it online. Obviously check the unit size. Is it enough for you and your family? For me, what was important is a separate bedroom, because me and JJ will not always go to sleep in the same time, and many times he stay work where I go sleep before, and I do like to have my quiet and fully dark space. That's why the separate bedroom is really important for me. It's actually pretty hard to find in Bangkok. It's mainly studio types condos, because all these units, they're kind of small. Although now we have kind of like separate bedroom, there is like a transparent door which you can close, but come on, it's transparent, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. But I have my reasons to got this condo. For me also was important to have big table, because we both work online, so we needed to have enough space for 2 laptops, and it will be great also to have a space to eat. And like for example, sofa, TV, these things, how important are they? And the kitchen in Thailand, in condos, kitchens are normally really small, because people eat here outside, they don't cook much. The oven is something which it's so hard to find. So if you actually really need oven, I think you should just rent a condo without oven and order like little electric oven online. We did that in Manila, and we're using this electric oven for like little, actually like baking some meat or some stuff. It was doing pretty good job. So yeah, normally here you will have like one little induction stove and microwave, kettle, something like that. So yeah, kitchens are small, and there is no this thing, I forgot how it's called, like which suck in air while you're cooking. So yeah, if you're planning to cook a lot, maybe think more and like focus more on finding a place with actually good kitchen. Aircon, obviously, it's really important in Bangkok, so test it out as well. Ask to turn it on, see how fast it cools down the room, how loud it is, because some people cannot sleep with a loud noise, these little things. And don't forget to check hot water. Like in many countries, there is no actually hot water running. Here, there is like this little water heaters in the bathroom itself. So check if it's important for you, and probably it is. So now let's talk about contracts and deposits. The rule number 1 is don't rush and read your contract. If it's in Thai, find a translator or use like ChatGPT or Google Translate to help you. Actually, yeah, ChatGPT is a great thing, because you can just take a picture of the contract and ask ChatGPT, like, is it okay? Am I safe? Obviously, if you have money for lawyer or agent, he will help you. But if you don't, I think ChatGPT is a great option to check it out. You need to document everything. If landlord promises you something on words, make sure it is written in the contract, because after you cannot prove that you agreed it by words. The next one is take photos and videos of the apartment. because sometimes the landlords can tell you to pay for some damages which actually were before you even moved in, but you cannot prove that it was there before. If you would take these pictures and videos, you can show him and say, look, it was like this before, you know. Don't be afraid to discuss the price, to discuss the deposit. Here people normally ask for bigger price and then you can negotiate. Normally the longer you rent, the better price you can get. And also what me and my JJ sometimes do, we offer to pay upfront, let's say a few months upfront, to get a discount. And for me, it's very, very important to have a good landlord, to actually have a contact with a person, you know, to see that this is a good person and doesn't look like dodgy or something. But obviously not all the time. Sometimes you see that apartment is amazing, condo is amazing, you like everything, but the landlord is a bit strange person. It happened to us once. I will still proceed with it, and luckily it was fine because, like, there are some strange people in this planet. It's okay, but still, obviously, it's always good that the person is responsive. That if something happened, you know, they will actually be reasonable and not create some drama where it's like there is no need for it. You know what I mean? So the final tip is take your time, check few apartments, and actually see where you feel like home. I hope this video will help you to find your perfect condo somewhere in Bangkok. Let me know in the comments if it did. I will be really, really happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.